What's up, nail geeks, and welcome to another polish pickup video. This month we have the theme Haunted History, and I am super stoked to show you guys what I've got this month. We have quite a bit of a lineup this time, including some super ultra smelly goods. This month is always my favorite. It's our Halloween month for polish pickup. If you're new around here and you're new to polish pickup, PPU is always something Halloween related or scary vibes or scary fun vibes when it comes to September. It is a pre-order style, so we do it in September. That way you'll have it in time for, or rather a little bit before, the end of October. So I'm so stoked for this month. Per usual, we have our sponsored giveaway. I will be choosing 10 random winners to receive a $10 PPU gift code, and I use a comment picker for that. I'm gonna have the giveaway running until Tuesday, August 29th at 4 p.m. Central Time. Come back to this video and check if you're a winner at that time. I will reply to winners' comments, and I will also have that pinned comment. Make sure you come back and check. I want to help you out, and you'll get a $10 gift code to help you out with your order, because if you're like me, this month is going to be your most expensive. Oh my goodness. A friendly reminder, I will never ask you for anything. I will only ask you to email me, thepolishedmage@hotmail.com, and I will give you your gift code then. So don't reply to any bots or anything like that. I don't want your money. I don't want your address. I want to be a dirty enabler and throw a little bit of cash at you. That's it. So that brings me to our winners shaming corner. Last month, we had quite a bit of July's winners email me back. And then I also had quite a bit of August winners email me back. Not everyone though. I think I had 6. So we're going to have a really short shaming corner for those of you who did not email me. And if you see your name in the box above me, please email me and I will get you your code. So the first up on our shaming thread for the month of August. Oh, I guess I was mistaken. We've got 2 left for the August list. If your name is Lisa Bund or hoping for just one, please email me, thepolishedmage@hotmail.com, so I can get you your code. Yeah, August, y'all did pretty good. So you should give yourself a pat on the back for that. And last call for July winners. I've got Jennifer Farrell, Colorado. I've got Rune Factory Freak 101, and I've got Micah 7895 and Laurel Schickler 9876. Please email me if you're on that list either. That way I can get you your codes. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with winners that are not emailing me period the end for the year. I might just have a redraw in December. I'm not sure. We'll see about that. So stay tuned for that. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started with the swatches. I'm stoked for this month, and I'm super stoked to talk to you guys about the non-polished items that I received to review this month too. So without further ado, let's get started with the swatches. And first up, we've got Baroness X, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. This is described as a black to red multichrome base with black and red reflective glitters and a sprinkle of black hollow glitter. This one's going to be 13 with no cap. So this has a very squishy formula to it, so I'm going to suggest going in light on your coats. I went in light on the first coat, and then I went in just a touch too heavy on that first coat, but it still was very forgiving, and honestly, it's a really good demonstration of how self-leveling the formula was. So very forgiving. Now, the red and black reflective glitters, to me, are very scattered. It's not so pronounced that you're going to get straight up grittiness from it. So I think you could probably go in a little bit less generous with a glitter smoothing top coat to keep this one nice and smooth. And next is Beaux Reves. This is Bent Neck Lady. This is described as a dusty blue base with violet, red, green shimmer and golden orange magnetic pigment. This is going to be 12 and there is no cap. So this is straight up flaky goodness. It's so satisfying on those brush strokes. The formula is smooth as butter, even distribution with that paddle brush too. So very satisfying. Now I purposely went in just a touch heavier on that second coat because when you are using magnetic nail polish, you definitely want to have enough pigment to magnetize for the overall look. So I did just that on that second coat, and I'm finishing it off with DRK Nails Magic Magnetic Top Coat and a ring magnet, and you can see the results here. Now, I do think that the overall look is a touch on the subtle side. It's not super in your face. However, it gives this intense galaxy on your nails, and the holographic flecks really look like stars. And next we've got BKL. This is the Woman in Black, described as a black sister polish to Doomicorn with the same green to aqua to blue shimmer. This one is 13 and there is no cap. So this one has more of a lighter formula, very similar to the other Doomicorn series, I guess at this point. They all have this lush shimmer that's really glowy and very intense. This one has a strong lime green sort of appearance in indoor lighting. At angles, of course, you see that very striking blue cast. So if Doomicorn was your jam, which it was mine, you definitely need to pick this one up too. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 coats with it. It does dry down flat, so I would suggest a good plumping glossy top coat just to give you that extra thickness. And next is Ethereal. This is Little Spirits, described as a sheer purple-brown base with green to indigo shifting shimmer. This one's 13 with no cap. So we have a very jelly formula. It's got a strong squish factor to it, so I would suggest going in lighter on your coats. Otherwise, you definitely can get some over buildup with this one. It's intentionally sheer to let all that shimmer shine through, so because of that, just wait till you see it on the Willet Topper segment. It looks fantastic. There is a ton of versatility with this. Now, the base color, to me, it pops very neutral against myself. So I think it is going to play up against your individual skin tone, depending on your undertones and what range you fall in. Now, it does dry down quite flat because it is so packed full of shimmer, so I would suggest a good glossy top coat. And next is Femme Fatale. This is Sucks to Be You, described as a berry magenta base with strong red shimmer that shifts copper and gold, packed with antique green reflective glitter. This one's 14 with a cap of 400 bottles. So this has a very heavy glitter type formula to it, and I purposely went in quite a bit thin on that first coat just to make sure that I had a foundation going. And this is one of those reflective glitters that you're going to want to use the texture from the previous layer to build up. Now, I would suggest going up to 3 light coats with this. I feel like because I have quite a bit of long nails at the point that I was swatching this in the month, I needed that 3rd coat. It was a bit of a formality at that rate. So I think if you have shorter nails or even slightly less thicker nails than myself, I think 1 light coat and the icing method on your 2nd coat is perfect. This is glorious and super ultra sparkly in person. Now, because of the reflective glitters, you're going to want to finish with a glitter smoothing top coat in addition to your glossy top coat. And a big warm welcome to KB Shimmer on the channel. This is Take the Stairs. This is described as a deep black jelly polish with an array of color shifting flakes. This one's 12 with no cap. So this is Crelly goodness. It's got an ultra smooth, satisfying, rich, buttery formula. It was really easy to apply, and I was pleasantly surprised for a black jelly base that I didn't need to go to a 3rd coat. So if you apply normally, I think 2 coats is going to be pretty good across the board. Otherwise, if you polish thin, you might need a 3rd coat. But overall, the formula is very opaque, especially for a jelly. And next is Luna Lab Creations. This is Ghost Train, described as a green, turquoise, blue, and purple shifting shimmer embraced by purple, pink, peach shifting magnetic pigment. This one's 12 with a cap of 125. So this is really interesting to me. This is one of those magnetics that look really good unmagnetized and magnetized. When you magnetize it, it's going to have this lovely, very pun intended, ghostly sort of look with the striking difference between the magnetic pigment and the base. It's not the most dramatic, but it is ethereal enough to give you that nice glowy sort of look, if that makes sense. I think 2 coats is perfect, and I would suggest a good glossy top coat to finish this one off because it dries down very flat. And next is Monarch Lacquer. This is Eerie Embers of Salem, described as a dark orange jelly base with red to orange multichrome flakes and black flakes. This one's 13 and there is no cap. So this is a juicy jelly sort of formula. It's very satisfying on application, and I had no issues fishing out those real chunky, big old juicy flakes. They're wonderful, and I would suggest going up to 3 thin coats with them. It starts off on the sheer side, but once you get on your second and third coat, it's perfect with no issues. Now, because it's so packed, I would suggest using a glitter smoothing top coat, a really thin layer of glitter smoother, just because it's just so flaky filled. Honestly, this one looks like a big giant pile of leaves. It's so fall in a bottle. It looks really good, and even for such a deep, rich orange, I feel like it popped ridiculously well against me. And next is MTK Design's Ridin Wildfire, described as an HD magnetic pigment, shifting fire colors of gold, copper, ruby, and a smoky gray base with various gold, copper, violet shifting aurora, shimmer, sparkles, micro flakes, and iridescent flakes. Quite a mouthful there. This one's 13 with no cap. So we have a very crelly formula here. It does apply very smooth on the nail. I think 2 coats is perfect across the board. Go in somewhat heavier on that last coat to make sure you got enough magnetic pigment to go around. And I magnetized with DRK's Magic Magnetic Top Coat, and you can see just how lovely that striking difference is between the base and the magnetic pigment. And next is Night Owl Lacquer. This is Haunted Forests, described as a linear holographic multichrome base that shifts blackened olive to green to red to orange. This one's going to be 13 with no cap. So we have an ultra smooth, very, again, satisfying formula. The maker's really coming for our wallets this month. This one is perfect at 2 coats. It's so holographic and ridiculous and lovely in person. It was popping against my LED lights, and I feel like I didn't have too much of a bleed through with a quick dry glossy top coat. So because this is super ultra linear holographic goodness, just be careful on which top coat you use so you don't get a bleed through. Now, I want to note that my swatches, it's showing up just a touch subtle, but in person, the copper glow to this one is very strong and really pretty. And next up is Pahlish. This is Calling the Spirits, described as a sheer ethereal lavender base with rich pink to copper to green shifting shimmer. This one is 14 with no cap. So we have a very, in my opinion, jelly, somewhat crelly sort of formula. It's got a strong squish factor, so you're definitely going to want to go in light on your coats. Now, this is intentionally sheer. It's got that milky sort of base to it, so just go in light and don't overwork it so you don't get any brush strokes. If a visible nail line bugs you, I would suggest maybe using a blurring base coat of some type, but honestly, I don't think that's really necessary here. This looks fantastic by itself. It popped ridiculously well against me, so I think medium to deep skin tones, this is going to look really good on you. Now, it does dry down very flat because it's so packed full of shimmer, so again, I would suggest a thicker, plumping sort of glossy top coat. And next is Pampered Polishes. This is Hitchhiking Ghosts, described as a brighter green jelly base with bold green shimmer and an assortment of mint-colored glitters. This one is 12 with no cap. So we have a straight crelly formula, big re-welcome, I should say, for Pampered Polishes on the channel. This is no surprise here, very easy, smooth formula despite being so packed full of glitters. I think 3 incredibly thin coats is perfect if you have any type of free edge. If you're rocking nubbins or shorties, whatever, I think 2 coats will be perfect, but overall it applied very, very smooth and easy. Now, because it's packed full of glitter, you know what the drill at this point. I'm going to suggest a glitter smoothing top coat with a glossy top coat, which is what you're seeing on my full hand shot here. And next up, we've got Psyche Minerals. This is Cuba Road Lore. This is a linear hollow base polish with silver reflective glitter and a smattering of ghostly green to blue iridescent flakes. Now, this is really holographic in person. I think in any lighting situation, you're going to see some rainbows because it's a linear hollow base for your indoor lighting, especially your kitchen lights. And then outdoor lights, you'll see those nice reflective glitters pop up. I'm going to suggest 3 light coats or 2 normal coats, as this does have a strong plumping factor, and a glitter smoothing top coat in addition to your glossy top coat. And next is Rogue. This is Ghost Town. This is a gray base with black flakes and multichrome flakes. No surprise here, Rogue's formula is perfect per usual. It is so smooth. I think 2 to 3 coats is perfect. When I was applying this, I felt that it was fully opaque at that second coat, and looking back now, I feel like I really didn't need that third coat. I almost felt like it was just messing around with it to just see the difference. It does dry down very flat and thirsty though, because it's just packed so full of flakes. So I would suggest a glossy top coat and a glitter smoothing top coat to finish this one off. Again, I really think 2 normal coats is perfect because the formula is very forgiving, and even for being acrylic, it's very self-leveling. And next we've got Sassy Sauce. This is Let Me Ax You a Question. Described as a smoky indigo base with strong golden green glow, jade hollow glitter pigment, and scattered hollow. This one's 13 with a cap of 500. This is so shimmery and glowy in person, and it's got a wonderful crelly formula. I think 2 to 3 coats is perfect depending on the length of your nails. Again, I'm rocking longer nails because it's witchy season and I'm trying to channel all the Halloween vibes. So I'm thinking from here on, I'm going to be needing 3 coats. But if you are rocking nubbins, I think 2 coats is perfect. This is so very glowy in person. It does dry down very flat, so you're going to want to use a good plumping glossy top coat. And up next is Vapid. This is Demon's Road, described as a deep and dusty midnight blue with red to pink to copper shifting shimmer. This one's 13 with a cap of 320 bottles. So we have a jelly formula here, and it is so lush when you build it up. Now in our PR information, it did state that Chris does intend to wear this one at 2 coats just to keep it soft and let that base shine through. But you know, your girl's real extra, so I had to see what it would look like at 3 coats, and honestly, I loved it either way. So definitely your preference if you want that more shimmery, vampier look, or if you want the base to really shine through on the second coat. This does dry down very flat, so I would suggest a good glossy top coat. And this is delightful, shifty, vampy goodness when you see it in the shade. And lastly, we've got Wildflower Lacquer. This is Lady of the House, described as a smoky plum base with pink to orange to gold to almost green shifting shimmer. This one's $13.50 with no cap. So we have another jelly formula, and it's lush and wonderful when you build this one up too. I think 3 light coats is perfect in my opinion. If you have shorter nails, you might be able to get away with 2 regular coats, but in my opinion, I think building this one up and allowing that shimmer to really pile it on there is perfect and so very shifty. This is vampy goodness in a bottle. Now, indoor lighting, you're going to see that nice magenta color, but at shaded lighting, you'll see that delicious gold shift with that extreme green at angles. Now, this one also dries down very flat, so I would suggest a good glossy top coat. And then to wrap things up, we've got the Will It Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to test how polishes are going to look over the darkest color, because if they pop over black, they will more than likely pop over other colors to have additional versatility for your polishes. So Baroness X actually looks really good. Of course, no surprise, the black really helped to pop that initial black shift. At more extreme angles, you'll see that red come out to play. Beaux Reves looks fantastic over black. I think there's going to be so much creativity you can do with this one. And BKL looks great too, no surprise, because it's a Dumicorn sibling. That shimmer is something else. Ethereal, like I said previously, we knew this was going to look really good because that base is intentionally sheer. There's a ton you can do with this. I think neutral colors and berries are going to look bomb. Femme Fatale just kind of took over the black swatch stick, but it's so sparkly. I mean, this is one that you don't want to miss out on. It's very, very sparkly. One of my top picks this month. KB Shimmer, I knew this was going to look good because the base is black, but in my opinion, it kind of diluted the flakes a little bit and gave you this really strong, more mosaic-like effect because the flakes weren't piled on each other. They were laying next to each other, if that makes sense. And Luna Labs looks fantastic over black too, so you can definitely use some undies for this one if you wanted to play around with that. Monarch really surprised me. I didn't think this one was going to pop as well, but honestly, if I didn't know any better and I just saw this swatch stick, I would have thought it was a topper, which is interesting with how well it builds up by itself. MTK Designs looks really cool over black. It just kind of sucked out that grayish sort of base and gave you this more galaxy-like dusky effect. And we all know how I feel about linear holographics over black. I feel like you're dehorning a unicorn, which is how I felt with the Night Owl. It's just so beautiful holographic goodness. I really don't see a need to use it as a topper. Pahlish looks fantastic. She's killing it lately with these shimmers. This one's so versatile, and I can see it looking good over just about any color as an undie. And Pampered Polishes, I think we dehorned a unicorn again. I don't feel like this one's going to be a great topper or have too much versatility with it. Honestly, I would just wear it solo as the Crelly it's meant to be. And Psyche Minerals, this looked awesome. I think there's a ton of versatility here, and you can easily use this as a very sparkly, dense topper. Rogue Lacquer, I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I can see it being versatile if you wanted to wear with like matching undies, but I feel like it does look best by itself. Sassy Sauce popped ridiculously well. The shimmer is, I mean, there's just so much in it, and I think the swatch stick here just kind of solidifies my point. There's a ton you can do with this one. Vapid, I knew this was going to look badass, and I'm not surprised in the least bit. This looks great. I can see a lot of versatility, and with the Wildflower, mostly because they both have those nice jelly bases and they're packed full of shimmer. It's really, truly lovely, and I think, I dare say, a dusky sort of navy blue is going to look the best. And then finally, we have the family shot, where you can see everyone all dried down and how different they all look. Okay, so that was good. That was big. It was long, and I guess I'm full of innuendos. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, so before we conclude the video, I have two non-polished items to show you guys. First up, we're going to talk about KB Shimmer's Sugar Scrub. Most of you at this point know that I live in Texas, and shipping here is, it's fun to say the least, because it's hot. And we've been at about 109 recently. My car registered 117 the other day when I got in it. But I just wanted to take a moment to note that when you live in a hot climate, I don't know if you can see that on the video, it may come a little separated, the sugar scrub. That's totally okay. She said in our PR notes that you can just mix it back and incorporate the oils that separated from the sugary goodness stuff. And that's exactly what I did, and it works perfectly fine. So if you've never used a sugar scrub before, you can use it on your hands. Back in, like, I don't know, a long time ago, I was about 10 or so, and my girlfriend, showed me something from Avon that was called like a 30-second manicure, and it was basically a sugar scrub. That was the first time I'd ever seen this, and I remember I washed my hands with it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's what it is. It's a sugar scrub. So you can use it for your manicure routine. It just leaves you so soft and goodness. But my favorite way to use them is I like to shave and then I use it. Some people might say do the opposite, scrub and then shave. I personally like to shave and then scrub. So that's just my thing. And then when you're done, you just feel glorious and it smells so good. Which brings me to this month's, let me get my scent descriptions up here. This month's scent. So we've got Caramel Apple Crunch, which is top notes of sweet apple, followed by notes of rich caramel and brown sugar with cinnamon. Let me tell you, this made me so freaking upset because I want a caramel apple so bad. Like, yes, it kind of smells like a pie, but I'm getting just delicious caramel, a fresh apple. I don't typically like apple scents. It's not something I gravitate towards, especially for my wax melts and my body stuff, but this is fantastic. It's wonderful. And you can also definitely get that caramel, that buttery sort of topping, that crunchy stuff on top of it. It's delicious and I really liked it. So enough about that. So the next one is Vapid's Nail Elixir. You guys have sold this out the last 2 months, so I'm just going to caution you guys, be quick if you want this because this one is capped. The label is really cute. I'm going to throw up my flat lay behind me so you guys can see it. The label makes me want to read some exotic fiction of some type. Very cute. But it is Devil in the Nightclub is the scent, and I have to read this to you guys. I was in a nail polish Discord group and I was raving about this the weekend that I got it, and I was wearing it, and it was like, oh, it's just so good. So before I get into the scent, what I'm smelling, the scent is a buttery vanilla and plum bourbon with caramel marshmallow fluff, grounded by woods and whispers of jasmine blossoms. So I know that that description sounds a certain way, but I'm telling you, the smell to this is just magical. My top note that I get with it is it's definitely this buttery sort of smell. But then I'm getting this cream almost. I guess that's the marshmallow. Yeah, the caramel marshmallow fluff. But the caramel is kind of subtle, in my opinion. It's this slightly sweet, creamy sort of thing. And then at the bottom notes, I'm definitely getting this woodsy, very unisex sort of smell. It's wonderful. That's all I have to say. It's magical and it's wonderful. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. When I turned in my swatches to Vapid last weekend, I pestered Chris that as soon as the 30 days are up for this to be released, I am hoping that she releases this in her shop and other things, because I need a custom order of this. So Chris, if you're listening to this, I need this in everything else. I need this in lotion, and it's amazing. It's such a beautiful smell. To me, I think this would translate ridiculously well to a body spray or a perfume of some type, or I dare say cologne, perfume. I'm not super big in the scents, so whatever the difference is between those, I personally think it would be a nice unisex smell almost. It's wonderful. I can't rave about this enough. It's a beautiful smell. I was chatting with Lisa of Cosmetic Sanctuary, my bestie, and she said she's getting strawberry and incense with it. I think she's wrong, but grab it and let me know what you think of the smell. I think everyone's going to get a different scent note to this. And next up, we have Luna Lab Creations. She's also bringing us a Ghost Train wax melt in addition to her polish. And this is it right here. See, it's quite big. It is 3 ounces. So a wax melt like this, you're going to want to, it's quite thick too. A wax melt like this, you're going to want to cut it up to fit into your wax warmers. And this smells lovely. So Ghost Train, on the maker description, smells like green apple, cotton candy, candy corn, and Rice Krispies treats. It smells so good. So off the bat, I'm getting a straight up very crisp type of apple smell. And then on the undertones, I'm getting a candy sort of smell. So definitely that cotton candy on the mid-tone, and then I'm getting that, it's almost this spun sugar. Obviously, that's got to be the marshmallow from the Rice Krispies treat. It's very pleasant, and ooh, it smells so good. If you haven't tried her wax before, it's lovely. And I've actually got her Rewind melting right now in the wax warmer in my living room. It smells lovely. So her wax typically throws really, really well, meaning you can smell it pretty high in your room. So it's not just like you have to get right next to your wax warmer and sniff it that way, but you'll get a really good traveling of the scent and out throughout your room. So yes, this is 3 ounces and it is capped. Polish pickup is going to open up for wish listing starting Sunday, August 27th, whenever they get the site loaded. At the time that I'm recording this, it's probably the weekend before. And I'm still waiting on a couple of items. So I'm hoping I can get this out before wish listing. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping I'm getting this out a couple of days before wish listing, but wish listing goes up then. And this month was a bit of a shorter month, so I know it feels like polish pickup was just, you know, last week. At least for me it does. But the site will open up for official shopping September 1st at 11 a.m. Eastern time, all the way through September 4th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. I will link you guys below to polish pickup. So I know some of you asked me to please bring back my personal wish list. So I'm going to go real quick over things that I noticed in the Makers Spoilers thread in the actual Facebook group. And I'm going to have a picture above me of what they posted. And we'll go through that real quick things that are on my list. I'm telling y'all, this month is going to be so freaking expensive. It's not even funny. Lacquer looks really pretty. I'm not the biggest fan of magnetic polishes, but that purple looks so luminescent against that background. It's really, truly lovely. Northern Stars Cuticle Oil Scent in the candy corn, blueberry pumpkin, jelly donuts, vampire's kiss, and she's doing Robert the Doll. I recently listened to a podcast about that doll, actually, ironically enough, and it sounds creepy as hell, and I'm really digging the scents that she's got in that set. Garden Path. I will 10,000% be getting this. That's a beautiful color, beautiful polish. It just looks like it's blurpily glowy goodness, and I'm here for it. Cameos is really pretty. I'm really digging that blue shimmer. I think anything that's got some type of super glowy shimmery look to it, and then you add blue to it, I'm in love with it. The Cuticulous looks very nice. I always say I'm not really big on black nail polish, but that looks so glowy, and it looks very, not super straight holographic, but it looks like she's used a lot of those hollow flakes, and I'm here for that. The next one that caught my eye, Lumens. We've got a really pretty, looks like a bluish base with a strong golden shimmer. I think this one would have a lot of versatility for topperism, just how it looks from the swatches I'm seeing here. All Mixed Up Lacquers. This one looks really, really, really pretty. She says it's a gray crelly loaded with glitters and flakes. It's hollow. Oh, she's got reflective glitter in it too. So it sounds like a glitter bomb to me, and I really like glitter. So that's definitely going to be on my wish list. Let's see. So Inspired Scents has her nail salve, and this one's going to be in the scent apple, cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, pumpkin, and cream. Listen, I love PSL. I am very basic in that regard, and I'm not afraid to say that I'm in love with it. Lynn B. Hello, Lynn B. and your shifty blue pretty. I'm really liking that one. Zombie Claw looks really interesting just based off of the Maker Spoilers thread here. I definitely want to see some more swatches of it, but it does look really pretty and a very strong shimmer. Alchemy, I'm really digging this one. I would love to see some more swatches of it. The shimmer does look really strong, and I want to see more of this one. I think it looks really interesting. That base may or may not match up with me, so we'll see. I want to see some more swatches of that. I think my girl Lisa got it on her video. PFD, Goblins and Ghoulies. Ooh, this one's pretty. I don't typically go to purples. I'm always saying that, but this one, again, looks like a super strong shimmer. Restored by Pahlish is really pretty too. I'm digging the medium purple sort of vibe with the strong shimmer again. There's clearly a theme with what's interesting me here, obviously. Dom Nail Polish. Angie killed it with this inspiration. It's inspired by the static from the TV, and it's gorgeous. She's got shimmer here. I think, yeah, that's might be some, yeah, reflective glitter. It's very pretty. I like that one 100%. And can we talk about Zra's earrings this month? I was so disappointed that I didn't get a chance to get a witch hat or something. I mean, come on. I was going to go all out and do something ridiculous for a costume, but I didn't have the time to order one, and my stores are just taking their sweet time with the Halloween goodies. So I didn't get a chance to do that, but Zra's earrings are freaking gorgeous. They're so cute, and I would 100% will be getting those. Those are capped at 100 though. So if you're like me and you need everything witch themed, you need to get in there when the shop opens. Vanessa Molina. This is really interesting. I'm not the biggest flaky fan. I do like them when they're super chunky or when they're tiny and holographic. And this one definitely fits the bill for more dramatic and in your face. Phoenix's polish is beautiful. Again, I really like that blue shimmer. Nail Artisan Cosmetics, 110% getting this one. It's gorgeous. I do love that neutral base, and we've got this really interesting ethereal glowy green shimmer happening. Emily DeMolly's looks really interesting too. I want to see some more swatches of it. I'm not sure if that green's going to fit along with me, but I'm definitely intrigued by this color combo. It's very unique and interesting. Penelope Loose, 10 out of 10 be getting this one. This is so pretty. Just the swatches. I mean, that swatch was very beautiful. Those shots are gorgeous. But that reflective glitter and that really strong shimmer, and her inspo is really awesome too. Sweet and Sour Lacquer, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That movie scared the shites out of me. It was so scary when I saw it in theaters, and the polish is really pretty to go along with it. You have to have a good red this time of year. I think that was really what stuck out to me this month. Oh, Hit the Bottles stamping plate. I will so be getting that. That is so cute. If there's one thing I love more than witch hats, it's ghosts. Obviously, I've got little ghost lights, my friends back here. Jen and Berries, hers is very pretty too. I mean, the flaky mixture is beautiful. It just, the color palette with her inspo is stunning. MJ Lacquer, this one looks really interesting too. I want to see more swatches of it. It's got a really strong, very dramatic thermal with the cold and the warm state. Paint It Pretty is also pretty too. I like that one as well. It looks like it's going to layer up nicely. So if you wanted something more dramatic, I would imagine probably 3 coats, but it looks like you could probably get away with 2 coats. I'm just going off of what I'm experienced with and when I look at swatches. A Sizzling Shades Nail Lacquer. This one's new to me. A new brand to me. So, but it looks very pretty, very glowy. And that's it. So that's even just from what was posted in the Maker Spoilers thread, which is wild to me. I know there's probably going to be some more, maybe some more non-polished items, and there might be some more polish that I didn't get to check out on that thread. So stunning, beautiful goodness.
It's gonna be so expensive.
Don't forget to leave a comment below on this video. Let me know what you're getting, what you're eyeballing, all that good stuff, or just say hi so you can be entered into my giveaway. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.